Level 1, $35,000. You check your balance before you check the weather. Rent eats the first third of every paycheck, and the rest gets rationed across a month that always seems to have one more week than your money does. A flat tire isn't an inconvenience. It's a crisis with a dollar sign attached. You don't talk about money with your friends, because everyone's doing the same quiet math and nobody wants to say the number first. But you've started a savings account anyway, even if it's just $20 a month. That $20 is the whole story, not because of what it buys, but because it's the first dollar that isn't already spoken for. Level 2, $55,000. The raise feels enormous for about 3 weeks. Then a slightly nicer apartment, a slightly newer car payment, and a few small upgrades quietly absorb the difference. This is the first time you notice a strange law. Your lifestyle grows to fill whatever room your income gives it, like water finding its level. You open a retirement account because someone told you to. The numbers in it are small, almost silly, but for the first time in your life, some of your money is working without you standing over it. Level 3, $75,000. You stop doing math in the grocery aisle. You can absorb a bad month without panic. You have an emergency fund that actually covers an emergency. But you also start noticing something uncomfortable. People earning exactly what you earn who somehow have nothing saved, and people earning far less who somehow have more. You realize income was never really the variable that mattered. The gap between what comes in and what goes out, that's the variable. And you start protecting that gap on purpose instead of by accident. Level 4, $100,000. 6 figures arrives quieter than you expected. It doesn't feel like winning. It feels like finally being able to breathe. But this is also where lifestyle creep gets dangerous, because now it can hide inside reasonable purchases. The nicer car, the finer dinners, the trip that isn't really in the budget but feels earned. A person making $100,000 and spending $95,000 is building the exact same future as a person making $50,000 and spending $45,000. The zeros are bigger. The gap is identical. Level 5, $140,000. Somewhere around here, money starts behaving differently. Not just your paycheck, but your portfolio. In a good year, your investments quietly earn more than an entire month of your salary, without you lifting a finger. You stop checking your accounts out of anxiety and start checking them out of curiosity. Compound interest stops being a sentence in a textbook and becomes something you can actually watch happen, month by month, in real numbers. Level 6, $200,000. You're earning more than almost anyone around you, and it changes less than you thought it would. The car is the same. The street is the same. What's different is quieter and more important, optionality. You could say no to a bad job. You could take a year to figure something out without it becoming a catastrophe. You may never use that option, but knowing it exists changes the way you carry yourself into every room you walk into. At every single level, the number on the paycheck was never the actual point. The point was always the gap, the space between what you earned and what you kept, and the years you let that gap sit untouched, compounding quietly in the background. Someone earning modest money who protects that gap early will often end up further ahead than someone earning triple who never learned to leave any of it alone. The raise that actually changes your life was never the one printed on an offer letter. It's the moment you stop measuring the box in your hand and start measuring the gap instead.